You recently posted a video
Yes.
on your social media platform, and that went pretty viral.
Yeah, I posted a video on TikTok, Instagram, sharing about where I live in Singapore because I recently moved into a new apartment. So I wanted to share about like how much I negotiated my rent for. I moved like in December 2022.
So it was one of those videos where you do the trend, right? Somebody walks up to you and go like, "Hey, hi, excuse me, how much are you paying for rental?"
Yeah, exactly. It's actually my boyfriend
Yeah.
filming because I was like, oh, I don't want to wait someone to come to my
So
house
so
and
you
visit.
you were under the impression that in real life people would actually walk up to you and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, how much are you paying for rental?" Because you see it happening on social media.
Yeah, kind of like the street interview.
The street interview.
Yeah, but apparently it's like
So you were
more
kind of
planned.
hoping someone would want to interview you, and then you got sick
Yes.
of waiting, and you
Yes.
decided to tell your boyfriend, "Hey,"
I might as well do it, yeah,
and,
because I
and,
create content. So
and it went viral.
and it went viral both on TikTok and Instagram. People were really interested because so I'm paying 4.2K per month
Okay.
for the full unit. So it's a
How
two-bedroom
big?
condo.
2 bedroom for 4.2.
Two-bedroom, two-bathroom condo for 4.2.
Okay.
Located in Boon Keng, so it's fairly central.
Yeah.
And people were saying, oh, I mean, it's like kind of mixed reaction. Some people are saying it's a good price,
Yeah.
especially given the location and the unit, the condo that is really nice. But some people were, oh, it's too expensive. Singapore is expensive anyway.
Yes.
And also because recently we experienced a rent price like spike. So that's why also I did this video because I used to actually rent the same unit, just few floor down for 2.9 per month.
Wait. So you're telling me the same condo,
Same condo,
same 2 bedroom,
same two-bedroom.
it went from 2.9 to 4.2.
Yes, yes. But I gained few floors, so it was on the 11th floor. So now I'm like 26.
Is there a difference in the? I mean,
Definitely.
11 is high, right?
Yeah.
But 26 is that? I mean, is it worth paying that much for?
I mean, okay, in our case, because the rent was already increasing.
Yes.
So, and I wanted to stay within the same condo, to avoid like moving costs,
Yes.
like them going to high up also.
Yes.
So I look at the opportunities within my condo, and
Yeah.
it was this particular unit. In our case, the view does make the difference.
It does?
It is quite nice because it's like fully unblocked view, and we can see like a few kilometers ahead.
But at 11th floor, what could be blocking you?
So it's not really about the block view, but more the sound. So we are staying nearby a road.
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
we are getting the road noise like much less.
Yes.
And also we are living nearby the Bendery school.
Ah.
So now we are hearing the kids just a bit less as well. Like the ring.
Oh, yeah, because it's school
School.
holiday, so
Yes.
that no more school bells.
No more school bells. Yeah.
So what advice would you give to people who are looking to buy a condo that is next to a school? Does the school bell really affect you? Does it affect?
I mean, for us, doesn't affect because usually we are awake
Yeah.
before that.
You're awake before 6 a.m.? The school bell starts at 6, right?
Okay, we cannot hear it like the first one. We cannot hear. It's more like actually afternoon.
Yeah.
We can hear because we leave with the windows open during we sleep with aircon. So during the
Yeah,
night we
yeah.
sleep, and when we close the window, like we cannot hear everything.
So does the school bell affect your lifestyle? You go like, oh, damn irritating again.
No, I think it's pretty alright. It's pretty alright.
Something that people can get used to.
Yep. Yeah, it's more like the bird in Singapore. You
Yeah.
know the ooh.
Oh, the ooh. The ooh.
This one I cannot.
Wait, you get irritated by the ooh bird?
Yeah, I
Why?
think everyone in Singapore should feel irritated by this bird. It's like it's never stopping. I don't know what he wants, but it's like
You mean from where you come from in France, there isn't like such birds
no. We
chirping
have
so
like
loudly?
pigeons.
Pigeons, so it's just a sound, but there is no ooh sound.
Yeah, even the v sound it doesn't come like so strong in your ear. Like the bird might be like 1 kilometer away, and
Yeah.
you would still hear it. So I don't know how they do it.
You don't know how the bird can project a sound that goes so far.
I don't know.
So you're telling me also that as you increase the level, right? Because you previously was on the 12th floor and now you're on the 26th floor, right?
Yeah.
The sound of the bell is not so distinct.
No, it's not so distinct. So definitely, I would recommend like people to try to go as high as they can.
As high as they can
avoid
to avoid the sound.
the like road noise and school noise, like just overall ambient.
You know, a lot of people say that noise travel upwards, especially for agents when we sell a property.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, now you are a real life person telling me that the higher you go, the lesser noise you hear.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of agents like to tell their clients you shouldn't buy the highest floor because noise travel upwards. So that's not true.
I don't think it's true. Like for example, I did the comparison, same
Yeah,
place,
yeah,
11th floor and 26th
yeah.
floor.
The noise level is
Throughout the days,
yeah.
it's not the same. Really not the same. Like I much appreciated. I appreciated
Did the road noise
26th.
affected you when you were on the 11th floor? Road noise.
Okay, when it's raining in Singapore, we are living nearby a road. You can really
Hear the tires
the
and
cars.
yeah.
Yeah. So this was like very. Because I do video, etc. When I
Yeah.
record sound,
Yeah.
I can definitely hear it.
Okay.
And like even when you walk and you want to be focused, I had to close the windows so that I don't hear the sound.
Okay.
But currently on the 26th, never had this issue.
Wow, that's very interesting insights to know that
Yeah.
actually the higher you go, the quieter it could be. So you're telling me you could be living in a condo right next to the road or the highway, and the higher you go, you just don't hear as much,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's your real life experience.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
So we're gonna be like gossiping a little bit about the condo that you're living in. So we're gonna be very mindful to not mention the name, just in case we don't want to offend anybody who owns a unit there. We're gonna get to that later. But okay, just now you were also mentioning to me, right? You coming to Singapore as a foreigner, right? And you're working in a real estate analytics company. So you're
Yes.
familiar with trends, data, price movement, that kind of stuff,
Yes.
right? And you told me that the condo you're living in, you wouldn't mind renting it, but you wouldn't buy it.
Exactly.
Now, why is that so?
So first, if we take the example of my previous unit where I was paying 2.9,
Yes.
I don't know how they're paying back their mortgage.
Why do you say
It's
that?
so low.
So you felt that 2009 rental was low.
Yeah, I mean for them, like okay, the condo units over there are maybe like 1 million, 1.2 million for a 2 bedroom. So it's
1.2 million?
yeah,
Even
it's,
now?
right now I haven't checked.
Okay,
as
okay,
of
okay.
today.
Yeah,
But
1.2
back then,
million.
like so I moved because my landlord wanted to sell the unit.
Okay, okay.
So maybe they realized, oh, it's better to sell than actually own it and try
To
to
collect
get,
$2,900 rental. So why do you say 2009 is low? Why do you say that?
as compared to similar units, and given the location, I
Yes.
think you can. Okay, now the price kind of align like
Yeah.
market wise.
Yes.
But I think they could have aligned to maybe 3.2, something like that.
So-
Like something definitely higher than 3.
So while you were living there, you were like secretly
Yeah, I was
happy and like,
happy,
haha, I'm taking
Exactly.
advantage of you.
And then I had to move, and I was like, okay. So like okay, from point two, I
Yeah.
think like you can. It's not too bad as a landlord to rent it this
So,
price,
so considering things as it is right now, $4,200 worth of rental that you could collect, would you still continue renting or would you buy a unit there if given the choice?
So I would still rent it.
Yeah. You wouldn't buy, yeah. Why?
I wouldn't buy. So
Yeah.
I mean I like the condo. I like the condo facilities
Yeah.
because you have a pool, you have a
Yes.
tennis court,
Yes.
you have a car park, you have BBQ. I mean, the overall condo is kind of good enough.
Okay.
Like,
But you still wouldn't buy.
but I still wouldn't
Yes,
buy
yes.
because in the end, it's down to the people. Like, for example, the people managing the condo is not the most efficient. For example, if you rent the BBQ pit, which
Yeah.
are really nice,
Yeah.
you have to give a deposit of
Yeah.
100. But this 100, once you're done, you have to wait 2 months to get your deposit back.
Two months to get your deposit back after you book a barbecue pit.
Exactly, and we are living in like in Singapore, we are having PayNow, etc.
Yeah.
Bank transfer. So I don't know what
Why
they
does it
did
take 2
to
months?
make it so
Exactly.
inefficient.
Okay.
So like the overall things is inefficient. To access the condo, we have to have 2 set of keys.
Yeah.
Because they implement a new system, but they didn't do it throughout. So on certain doors you can open through the mobile app, which is really nice, and the other one you have to open with a card.
Yeah.
So you always have to have so you can have 2 different kind of card.
Yeah.
A token and a physical card.
So you need 3 keys: your house key and certain keys for certain doors
Yes.
and certain key for other doors.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is really a hassle. And so I mentioned the facilities, which are really nice,
Yeah.
but the gym of the condo is actually relatively small. I think it's like basically they can only fit five. How do we call it? The
Treadmill?
Yeah, basically they can only fit 5 treadmills.
And that's it?
And that's it. When the condo has over like 800 units or
800 units?
yeah. So
And only 5 treadmills in
there are
800.
4 blocks of 28 floor
Yeah.
because they are penthouse.
And you were also talking about the parking, right? Something interesting about the parking.
Yeah, the parking also is like poorly thought. Like I think Grab drivers they hate to deliver in a parking because it's very narrow.
Okay.
And also, if you want to stay overnight,
Yeah.
you have to pay. I mean, people who are not like
Residents.
they
Yeah.
have to pay. I think $10 to
To
stay
park there for
yeah.
one night, overnight.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, this is the first time I heard
Yeah.
that the condo actually charges the
So-
visitors $10.
Yeah, but it's not even about staying overnight. Like, for example, if you have people who are coming, I'm not sure the time,
Yeah.
but if they are coming later than let's say to be safe, 12 p.m., they will have to pay. Even though, like, if they come with the car, they will have to pay for the parking.
Oh my gosh, okay. Is that all? Like the barbecue pit, the gym, and the park and the car park?
How to say that? Also, I think the mix of people over there. I think if I want to buy, I would buy in a condo where people are there to stay.
Yeah.
But I feel like this condo is like there is a
Tenant.
lot of like tenant.
Oh, what does that make a difference to you?
Because I want to know my neighbors.
But if they're tenants, you can also get to know them.
But they're going to be gone in a bit.
So you want to know them for a long time.
Like, for example, there are some units that are dedicated to kind of like
Short-term.
Colivus thing.
So short-term rental.
Yeah, short-term rental.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you want to have a sense of community where you know that your neighbors are here for good.
Yes, yes,
You don't want people to be moving in and out.
yes.
But how does that affect you in a sense? Like, how does it affect you?
I mean, also because the condo is quite big, so in the end you cannot know
Yeah.
everyone, but each time you're going to see someone different, and like, I mean, people also in Singapore, they don't say just hi to anyone.
Oh yes.
So
yeah, you need to be seeing each other over a prolonged period of time.
Yeah,
Like,
and
hey,
then
you know,
finally,
yeah.
So actually, when I was living on the 11th floor, we are just about the time of like getting to know our
then
neighbors.
they move
Like,
out.
I mean, now they're still living in
Yeah.
this condo, so we still say hi, but we are not living in the same floor anyway. So, yeah.
So you just now we were talking about your video going viral, right?
Yes.
And you were telling me that it has caused people to come and ask you certain property related questions. Like
Yes.
how can you share a bit more about that?
Yeah. I'm a kind of like a data person,
Yes.
and I like to look at number. And on my case, when I decided to rent this new unit,
Yeah.
I look at floor premium.
Yes.
Because I was paying 2.9
Yep.
for this price on the 11th floor. What is actually the price of 26th floor? How much is the floor premium, like the part of the floor premium in this price
Yes.
increase, and
Yes.
how much is actually the price?
Yes.
Not sure if I made
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
sense there.
I mean, I understand. So you're trying to figure out if it's a fair price
Yeah, exactly.
based on the floor difference and the layout,
Yes.
and you came to the conclusion that
That
it's
it was.
still fair.
Yeah, it's still fair.
Okay.
It's still fair. So I was able to see. So, for example, the same unit currently would like maybe sell at 5,000, 4.9.
You mean renting out at 5,000?
Yeah, rental.
And the landlord gave it to you at 4.2.
4.2. Actually, so because I'm a foreigner, I had they increased the rent. Like the listing was 4.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, to you it's 4.2.
And you took it?
I took it because, like, that's world is unfair. I just live with it.
But you were saying that the market rate is what, 5, right? Because you did the analytics and
Yeah, as of today, yeah, like I could foresee that those units
Yeah.
would go for much higher.
so you could look at the past data and foresee that the prices could go for
Yeah.
higher. So you just lock it in at 4.2.
Yes.
Even though they charge you more for you being a foreigner.
Yeah, 4.2 was still the
Reasonable.
best price I could get. Yeah.
Wow. How then? Okay, so when your video went viral, you have other people coming
Yeah.
and ask you how you did it and that kind of stuff, right?
Yes. Like other foreigners coming to Singapore, often like the property market in Singapore is kind of straightforward. Like most people would go through Property Guru,
Yes.
but you are really dependent on what you see there and like the information you can gather. So people are interested to know, oh, actually, what's how can I get a good price in
Yes.
Singapore? What is considered a good price?
Yes.
So it's like all those things that they need people to
Yeah.
trust.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
So
happy
would you say you are like a property influencer for the foreigners because they come to you and ask you how do you negotiate the price? How do you determine if it's a fair price?
I mean, I definitely, even though I'm working for a real estate
Yeah.
data company, I definitely need someone that is on the market
Yeah.
every day and actually do transaction
Yeah.
um, to help. So yeah, I won't go and tell them yes, this is a good decision or no, this is a bad decision.
Ah, okay, okay.
Like I cannot do.
You cannot give opinions, but you can
Yeah.
give the facts.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, because you're not in the market, doing the transactions in the front line.
Exactly. And like is like I mean I'm doing only content online.
Yeah.
It's not in my responsibility to give people
Professional advice.
Yeah, exactly.
Understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you just tell us where you're from? Where are you from?
I am from France.
You're from France.
Yeah.
How
So
long have you been in Singapore?
I've been in Singapore for 4 years.
4 years.
Actually, no, maybe a bit more than that, yeah.
And you've lived in Boon Keng all your life.
No, actually, I lived somewhere else in the past. I was living in Wapa Villa.
Haw Villa.
Yes. Really nice condo. I really enjoy as well.
Yeah.
White Heaven. So it's kind of like a low rise. I was living on the 4th floor, and I think the maximum was 5 or 6.
But from Haw Villa to Boon Keng is a huge difference.
It is. So, I mean, I arrived to Wapa Villa, Pasir Panjang to be
Yeah.
exact.
Yeah.
For my first internship in Singapore. So I was a student, and
Where did you study?
so I studied computer science.
In NUS?
Oh no, I wasn't a student in Singapore. I was coming for internships. I was gonna work for a company.
Okay,
So
okay.
I worked for health tech
Okay, okay.
company.
It's
in
a government.
Singapore. No, it's not a government. No.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we are dealing with migrants.
Okay,
and
okay.
these kind of things. So I was a student, and my office was also in Pasir Panjang. So I just look at the nearest, like usually when you arrive in Singapore, you would just like do it based on address, So
Yeah.
I knew Pasir Panjang, so I just look anything near Pasir Panjang.
Yes.
So I found like it was just a small room that I rented for 800, which is like pretty cheap for a condo. But it was
$800.
yeah,
Okay,
it was
okay.
back then in 2018.
Yeah.
I think nowadays you won't find this price in a
No.
condo.
You you can rent a bomb shelter.
Maybe like
Bomb
no
shelter
window,
for $800. Yeah, no windows, no
nothing.
nothing. Okay.
And so I was having a pool. So I mean,
Yeah.
like for me as a student, it was like such a change of life to come to Singapore. And
Yeah.
I mean, in France, we don't have this idea of condo.
Yeah.
There isn't such a thing
Yeah.
where like you have a development with facilities
Yeah.
and security guard,
Yeah.
etc. It's really not a thing.
Do you like it though?
I love it. I mean, that's why like some people ask me like after this video, oh, you should just go for HDB because
Yeah.
it's much cheaper.
Yeah.
But I like the facilities. I like the pool. I
Do you
like the.
use it though?
So to be honest, the
Yeah.
pool I haven't been in a while. Like usually there is this period like maybe like October to
Yeah.
Jan, February where I find the water is a bit cold.
Oh.
So I mean, the first
Yeah.
time I arrived in Singapore, I could go every day.
Yeah.
But since I became like a bit more Singaporean, so
Yeah.
I'm a bit like more.
Okay, so when you say become a bit more Singaporean, you mean because I know for a fact, correct me if I'm wrong, like Europeans are usually they prefer hot.
Hot weather.
They prefer the hot weather
Yeah,
because in
yeah.
Europe it's cold.
Yeah, I mean now I enjoy the aircon.
So now because it's too hot.
Yeah,
You feel it's too
yeah,
hot.
yeah. Like I mean, I still love Singapore for its hot weather. Like that's why I don't consider moving out of Singapore because of the weather that is so enjoyable.
You like it?
I like it. I love it. Like even like so I usually I would recommend people to avoid like going out during the sunny, like most sunny
Yeah.
time. So maybe from like, let's say 11
Yeah.
to 3, 4.
Yeah.
But I would not mind going for a hike during that period. Yeah. I just enjoy it.
I think because like Singaporean, especially the women, they're just afraid of sun tanning, the skin
But
and that kind
just
of
wear
stuff.
sunscreen.
So you would just put on sunscreen and just go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Haw Par Villa was an ideal location because the hiking trails are all there. Mount Faber, everything is right there.
exactly. Even like Labrador
Yeah, yeah.
Nature Reserve is nearby. So I really enjoy my time at Haw Par Villa. The only thing is it's mostly landed, so
Yeah.
I would recommend people to have a car.
Oh, yeah.
To live there.
Yeah.
There are a few food courts that
Yeah.
are really nice, but also like you have to walk a little bit. Like I enjoy Boon Keng because we have so many great food options around,
Yeah.
and the Marathi also nearby. Like for Pasir Panjang, you have to most likely take a bus before going through MRT, depending where you live. I was nearby the science center.
Science Center. Talk about the good food in Boon Keng. Like where? Where and what?
So we are lucky to have a hawker center in Boon Keng
Yeah,
MRT.
yeah.
Actually, I don't really go to the hawker center. There
Yeah.
is a food court.
Yeah.
I think most people are actually going
There's
there.
food court near Boon Keng.
Yeah.
You mean coffee shop?
A coffee shop, sorry, yeah, coffee shop. Like the difference between a hawker center, food court,
Yeah, and a
hawker
coffee
center,
shop.
I'm still not there.
You know the difference, right?
Yeah, so I actually know. So hawker centers is like the big one. There are many stores.
Yes.
No
yes.
aircon.
Yes, no aircon.
Food courts is so that usually there are fewer stalls.
Yes. With aircon. Usually inside the shopping center, that's food court.
Oh yeah, food court with
Yeah.
aircon, and coffee shop is like the other ones.
Yeah. So coffee shop is the non-aircon version of the food court.
Yes.
So in Boon Keng, which one is your favorite?
So I have a few favorites. So there is like this stall that is doing hand pull noodles, and also
You know what it's called?
hand pull noodles.
No, of the Chinese name for it.
I wouldn't know the name. I know the place. Like just go to the MRT, you will know. You will know. Yeah.
Okay. So the hand pulled noodles is your favorite. What else? What else?
There is also the king of fried rice. I love fried rice.
You love King of Fried Rice?
Yeah. I like the prawn one. I like the prawns.
So you think King of Fried Rice is good?
I mean, if I can, I would eat Din Tai Fung every day. But
Oh, you like Din Tai Fung?
I like Din Tai Fung, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I eat most. Then I like just nearby my condo there are like a corner
Yeah.
food, and I would go have like Japanese food.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the thing you enjoy most about Singapore as compared to it when you were in France?
So I mean, we are
Weather,
about food,
you
so
said,
yeah,
yeah.
weather,
Yeah.
but also about food. The fact that I don't have the pressure of cooking at home. Wow, it's such a lifesaver.
Oh, because in France the food places are far away.
It's not so often they are far away. They are really regrouped. Like
Yeah.
we like. I mean, I think people have the image of the US,
Yeah.
where you have a mall and then you have like many different shops around.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the same system in France. We do have restaurants in the city center though,
Yeah.
but it's also that usually they are way more formal
Yes.
and pricier as well.
Oh,
So people
yes.
most of the time they do cook at home,
Just save money.
dinner, and sometimes even lunch when they go to work. They would like prepare their food.
Ah. Okay.
So that's a huge convenience. But even overall, I do feel that Singapore is, it's very convenient. Like I think most people can say that is that Singapore, everything is working well.
Yes.
If there is something that is not working well and is being reported, most likely it's going to be fixed.
Yeah. So there's
in a matter of
safety
time.
and efficiency and that
Yes.
kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the company that you're working with. So it's Real Estate Analytics.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, we are on to something very big here. We're going to be sharing some real estate analytics and numbers that like you've never seen before. Like we're talking about data analysis down to the pins and the needles, right? Okay, so maybe you can just talk a little bit about what your company does in terms of real estate data analytics.
Yeah, so actually very funny, like I think when people see me, they do not assume that I know probably more than
Yes.
any other Singaporean
Yes,
about
yes.
like the real estate market in Singapore.
Yes.
Of course, like I'm not a property agent. I only know data that I see.
Yes.
And in my company, we are working on big data about property real estate.
Yes.
in Singapore, but actually not only. We are trying to get data in Hong Kong, Malaysia, Australia. Basically, I mean, we try to be global and have a holistic view of the property. In terms of transaction, in terms of listings, but
Yes.
also other any kind of details that we can capture. So currently, like there is big question about sustainability. We are
Yes.
trying to get data about EV chargers, all these kind of things that we can think of, and we are trying to like offer this data and transparency to real estate agents. So we have an app called Real Agent,
Yeah.
where we offer like mostly residential transaction, commercial transaction, and also we have this listing portal where agent can co-broke. So we are really trying to create partnership on that. And then we also help developers. So we are working with a few developers in Singapore where we are trying to help them make better decisions about like a future project that they could build in Singapore, because in Singapore the land is so scarce. So it's better for them to make good decisions when it comes to building. What is a good unit mix?
Yes.
What is the price, the
Yes.
target,
Yes.
and the facilities that they could build. So this is like the big pictures, and we try to dive into like very tiny details, like how big the window should be, like these kind of things.
So you're telling me how big the windows are within a development actually affects whether or not people like and would buy the condo.
Yes,
And that's something that we can analyze.
and that's something we can analyze.
You know, the one thing that really shocked me, like when you made this comment to me the first time, I was just blown away. And you told me specifically that a lot of people like to talk about a particular condo is very near to the MRT, right? But
Yes.
how near is near? What
Exactly.
is the radius, right? And you're telling me that different MRTs have different radius where people think it's near or far, and we can identify that based on the supply and demand and the price movement.
Exactly. So basically, when you are living 100 meters from the MRT,
Yes.
whether it's 100 meters or 200 meters,
Yes.
you might not see the difference.
Yes.
So we can see how close is close and also how far is far. Let's say we see a huge drop in price value when the MRT is more than, I don't know, in Singapore would be like more than 1 kilometer away
Okay.
from the MRT.
So 1 kilometer is basically not walkable. I mean, one
it's
kilometer is
yeah.
definitely not walkable.
So this is like data we can analyze. I actually
Yes.
don't know the number. Like
Yes.
I didn't research it for today.
But we will get
We
back.
will.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's the interesting data that we're going to be talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like different MRT have different radius, have different preference, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, basically, we are able to get this data for every. So we can look at Singapore level, but we can also look at, for example, Jurong. The preference might be a bit different.
Oh,
because
yes.
there are less MRT stations, so
Yes.
maybe people are more keen on walking a distance. But for example, if you are living in downtown, you want to be like just
Yeah.
below the MRT, otherwise it's a no-go. So that's the kind of like user behavior that we try to understand and help real estate agents like make transaction based on those analytics, adjust the price, and also developers build what people actually want.
And like you said, right, we can even drill down to the extent where people in Jurong, they like the window to be of a certain dimension versus people who live in, I don't know, like City Hall,
Yeah.
right?
And something we mentioned also is like, for example, the stack.
Yeah.
Of course, when there is a condo that has multiple stack, some people are going to prefer a stack more than the other. So we
Yes.
can see a stack premium, but we can also adjust this premium based on the orientation of the condo. So I mean of the block. So if we are able to say based on the future project a developer has, if you move this stack just a slightly bit,
Yeah.
this is how much more valuable it's going to be. They can also have higher gains,
Yes.
but also people can get a better return on their investment.
Yeah, because it's basically understanding what these people prefer in the district, and we build the properties according to that.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. Okay, I mean, there's so much data, but we're gonna talk about it in the next episode. Okay, so what is one last thing you want to tell the viewers out there, right? From the perspective of someone who came to Singapore and is renting right now, and you know, what advice would you give them? Like, how do they look for properties, that kind of stuff?
So I mean, most people are saying that renting is usually not a good thing.
Yes.
Like you should buy.
Yes.
In Singapore, I don't think
Oh.
it is such a bad thing.
Yes.
I mean, okay, I'm considering two things. So first, people who are here on the short period of time, renting anyway is their only option.
Yes.
But even for the long term, I mean,
Yes.
because I'm from France also, so I have
Yes.
investment opportunity in France.
Yes.
You can definitely buy for investment in Singapore, but I would not buy to live. I rather rent in Singapore because I think that's how I would get more money.
Because you're secretly taking advantage. Haha. I don't know how you survive with $2,900 rent.
Yeah, I mean, if I